So we join back in with our adventurers after last week. They had continued delving further into the Lorixan temple, finding weird scripts in Celestial to sort of depicting bound flames and preserved in shadows and other mysterious things. Before reaching a large room with a very large circular room with a very large circular table in the center of it, where a fight began between our group and the ally golem, and the seemingly never-ending chorus of weird mutated monsters that is being spewed down the horrific flesh corridor.
You had to get that word in, didn't you? Yeah.
I forgot about
It's
forgotten about the flesh corridor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I changed the second word. I thought that would help a little bit.
Flesh corridor.
Yes,
Yes, because the issue we had was that it was a hall.
No,
it was a tunnel.
It was
A
a
tunnel,
tunnel.
yeah.
Flesh tunnel.
I
Yeah.
thought that was worse than a flesh corridor. At least I was being explicit that it was a room in a house.
I think it's the word flesh, hon, that's the problem. I don't think it's the tunnel bits.
But it is the perfect description. So needs must. We joined back in on let me find it.
I think it was
we're mid-fight, aren't we? Yeah, we're mid-fight.
and I jumped into a
Yeah,
black hole down
You
the
jumped
corridor.
in.
it was either Ichi or myself
I've gone
who was
I've
next in
gone
the
shin
initiative.
deep into the
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
black
you
hole.
roll.
You were
You roll.
sinking.
Yeah, you rolled a 1 and you're like halfway sinking into the side of the floor now. Yes. So
There was a whole thing the other day on threads about how
were
people
we
thought
back
it
to
was.
top of the round?
Yeah. But yeah, there was a whole thing the other day on threads about how it was really mean to make people roll on a crit table, and how it was really bad and people didn't like it, and I was like, we love it. We love it.
This had something
No.
different, doesn't it?
It brings chaos. What can be
To
better?
be fair,
than a
like
game?
I've played with DMs before that don't have a table, but just describe something that makes sense
Yeah.
horrific happening to you at the point of a nat 1, and we all go, "Yeah, fair, that makes sense." You know, like you just did the worst thing possible. That makes sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what even Matt Mercer's, had like Grog lose his axe kind of thing of like a blade shatter or get stuck in something.
Yeah.
but yeah, so top of the round is Eleni. So Eleni, you were on the far side of this room. The swarms have been finished off. The weird insecty wasp hornet things. There is still the golem and the angel in the middle of the room, duking it out.
And the angel's not prone any longer, is he? He got
He's
up.
flat. No, he's
and
like flying up
now.
in the air.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dante's in the corridor, and I think
Dante's got dived 20 foot down into Dante's
30.
dived 20 foot, 30 foot down into the corridor. Volu's at like the edge of the corridor with Ichi.
Okay.
And Arta and Ash are sort of trying to assist the golem with the angel.
In which case, I'm going to shoot the angel as well, because it looks like there's at least 2 or 3 people on the tunnel. So.
Oh, to be fair, if we are top of the round as well, feel free to make a shot. But can Paul? You can make the first.
I don't think we were top of the round.
I don't know if we were top of the round.
We ended on my turn.
Ashton, Mum said yes.
Oh, no, sorry, I wasn't listening. We ended on my
argued.
turn.
It was either Ichi or myself next, because Ichi has the same initiative as Dante,
Yeah.
and then
So
I
we
was
go-
after them.
Yeah,
So
I don't think I
did
went.
we finish on the angel?
No, we finished on Dante.
Finished on
jumping through.
Dante.
Dante
Jumping.
literally went.
Okay, right.
Did we
fair
finish
enough.
on that cliffhanger of him?
Yeah.
Of him
Yeah,
sinking in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
guys.
no, it's fine. I'll just restart that. So it's on me.
Radio.
To be fair, most of the actual beginning is fine.
Chris, you're knee deep. Stop antagonizing him.
Yeah. So yeah, we ended there in the fight on Dante's turn as he has tried to jump forwards and ended up sinking knee deep into the actual floor that just seems to have given way and is almost like quicksandy feels as you try and pull your leg back, or like, like up in the moors, the mud traps. As we come to Ichi.
So how far away am I from Dante? Because I know
you
I was
would be 40 from
progressing,
Dante, because
40
you
feet.
were about 10 foot from the door, the entryway to that
Yeah.
corridor. And then as you look, the 30 foot between you, there's a patch of cleared ground where Dante jumped and slashed.
Mhm.
But most of the corridor and the floor is still that. There's like a 5 foot section.
Did we get rid of a toad? Can't remember if we killed the toad or not.
Don't know, but I was going to say,
No, we hadn't.
Is the spike growth still? Some of the spike growth
The
still.
spike growth was pushed.
Paul moved the spike growth so that it's basically the last 30 foot up. It's the 30 foot up to the
and I thought
flashing the light and 10 foot past it.
I thought the toad was up, but injured.
He had his tongue was stuck in a wall.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But he had done an attack of opportunity when I jumped. So firstly, he has no more reactions. Meta. And secondly, he's still alive.
Cool. Also, as a reminder, Chris, you have I'm still concentrating on protection from evil and good on you, so
thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Have disadvantage on him.
And you are blessed, although only
I think for like maybe
it's not. It's he could only do 3 of you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did Ichi, Dante.
It was everyone but Eleni.
No, Ichi was on. It wasn't Ichi.
No, it wasn't me. I don't.
Who was? Oh, yeah. Sorry, no. Yeah.
Because he had turned around and said, "We're going to have to do this the hard way."
Yeah.
So,
I had.
Eleni had distance and range.
As a team, we can sort of remember what happened.
Yeah.
I remember everything.
Yeah.
Like Power Rangers, we all come together.
Yeah. So yeah, Ichi.
Right. How far away is that toad?
It would be that toad's like within 10 foot, like I said, like a 5 foot step for you to get.
Ichi will step up and engage that, and I will take 2 slashes with my longsword. There's that 1. Oh, I rolled an 18 plus 6, so 24.
Definitely hits.
Second attack. Natural 20. It was nearly a 2. I was like, no. Natural 20. Cool. I will on that second one. We'll see how much damage, how it looks. So, attack number 1, only 5 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Still just about hanging on.
So just about hanging on.
Your D100.
I will roll that.
Depending on what the damage is,
Yeah.
it might not matter. Because you can see they're like barely keeping their eyes focused. And...
Yeah, no, I will save my.
Remember as well, sometimes the crit table does things to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be worth rolling anyway. And yeah.
Rolled max damage on the crit. I rolled an 8, so double to 16 plus 3 to 19.
How do you want to finish off the toad?
So as it's kind of like got that dazed look in its face and its tongue, its tongue got stuck on the wall, didn't it?
Tongue stuck to the wall.
So Ichi kind of like steps underneath it, slices the tongue as it kind of like has that moment of like elastic retraction, and it kind of like its head goes up. Ichi just smoothly continues the motion and slices the throat.
Nice.
And then just in case something interesting happens. Oh, it might be. That's a 96 on the crit table. If I was a cleric.
Unfortunately.
Oh wait, no, it's low, isn't it?
Unfortunately, that would only do something to your target. But yeah, just so you know, there are some of these that, for instance, would allow you to make an attack on something else that was next to it, or there's other things. So
yeah. Cool. Yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay, so as the toad sinks down, you look down the corridor, and you can see Dante almost like kneeling on one with the sword dug in, and it almost looks like he's kneeling for a second before you see it looks more like the corridor is swallowing him. As we come to Volvo.
So I was a bit further back, wasn't I? So I'm not
about another 10.
Hmm.
So you can see Volu about 40 foot away from you is the angel floating in the sky, fighting with the golem and such. And then Dante is also about 50 from you. That way, into the corridor.
See, I could get to Dante, but that would be my entire turn because I'd have to move an action move.
And you can see the floor of the corridor is mostly you would have to try.
Oh,
and
he
jump.
hopped, yeah.
You would have to try and jump the same jump that Dante can do, which is a difficult roll for you.
Yeah, considering I literally can only move 25 feet.
Yeah. The movement's not the issue; it's the jump distance. So you with
my dexterity is not the best.
With a running jump, you can do your strength score in feet.
So, for example, my strength score is 17, so I can do 17 feet. However, I've got a feat, a ability with my class that gives me an additional 10 feet.
Right. Yeah. So I could only go 12 feet. So yeah.
I don't think it gave you 3. I think because.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
It gave you 3 because it put you up to 20.
Yes, you're completely right. Sorry, my bad.
But yeah, so to be fair, he'd be able to jump to the first patch because that's only 10 in. It's the second patch where you're sunk in. You went 20 on the second.
The very first patch you can walk into because I didn't jump the first time.
Yeah. So you could run straight up to the entrance to the corridor and you'd be fine, but you'd then have to figure out what you're going to do about the floor.
Okay.
Just to say, I'm now free for viewage.
What? Okay. I'm going to run up and get to the point where I can't. So I'll go 25 feet forward if I can go all the way 25 feet forward. Because that'll put me up to the bit where he jumped for the flesh.
It's like where he took off.
Yeah. And then
you can very clearly see Dante now. Legs sunk into the floor, struggling against it. But it's almost again that weirdness of like, if you put your hand down, that's still also weird sinky floor texture, and you know there's nothing to get purchase on to actually resist.
So I'd have to kind of like have something to grab onto. Much I can do. Does the flesh corridor look magical in any way?
Oh, fully. But give me an Arcana.
It's only on saves we have +3 in it. Yeah. 16.
So definitely magic, but you don't think like running spell magic. This is more like the magic that happens around powerful objects. So like, for example, when an elder dragon takes up a lair, for a mile around it, the land is just affected by its presence and by its magic and by its aura. You get the feeling that the glowing light at the end The glowing light at the end is definitely whatever, and you can almost see that, like, as you're getting closer, this corridor was getting like darker and darker just to the shimmering point of light. But you're almost seeing now around the edges, it looks like again that there's something maybe circular in the center of the next room that's also coated entirely in this weird flesh material, and that's what the light is being housed in.
Does there something circular look like it's a being? It's an entity.
Less a being, more a structure.
Uh,
So it looks like a large pillar with a big circular orb in the center of it. But it's, again, and for that one, I would say with the roll you gave, that one looks a lot more like flesh, the vine fleshy material over something, as opposed to the walls that are almost like magically altered. So do you know, like when at the edge of the corridor where it was still changing, there were like tentacles of it sort of reaching out, as opposed to like the whole floor being changed. The center looks more like that still, as opposed to
more like tentacles. That in an effect. See, the reason why I was asking is because I was gonna try and cast Sacred Flame at the orb, but
wouldn't work
see
with
how
Sacred
it
Flame,
reacts.
but you could target it with a targeting spell, but not with a
because it's not a yeah. I've not really got much.
Anything to give me a hand?
Okay, I'd shout to Dante, like, is there anything you need in this moment?
To get out.
Like, other than the obvious, other than getting out, can I help in any way? Do you need some additional? Do you need to heal your wounds so you can last longer? Like,
my foot is stuck. I need to get it out. If you can't help with that, then healing will be great.
I'm sorry, all right, the healing's pretty much the only thing I can give you.
Liam, you are so out.
Yeah, my camera's gone really fuzzy.
You just went really blurry all of a sudden.
It has autofocus. I don't know.
Have you got a cover?
No.
Don't use your thumb or anything. Oh, there you go.
Back. Yeah.
Continue.
Okay. I'll chuck an aid at Dante's way.
Remind me.
You get your maximum and current hit points increase by, on this instance, 10 for the duration of the spell, which is 8 hours.
So my max increases by 10. My health doesn't go up by 10.
It does as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Everything goes up by 10.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So max.
Anything with the bonus?
I'll crouch to the ground as a bonus.
Okay. Okay, so Toad is down. So you would see Ash, they sort of continue further moving round to that far left side of the room. And they do start sort of looking over the sort of areas where there's almost bits of stuff that's infected within the room. Before firing off a fireball anyway towards the angel. Unfortunately, you see the angel turns to the side as the fireball flies past. They are going to shout over to Eleni. Do you need any healing or potions or cures?
I would just reply, "No, I'm fine, thank you."
Very well. And you see they sort of turn like they're gonna start heading back the other way, but they don't have any more movement this turn. As we come to the top of the round. So yeah. And Dante, for you, this one is weird because as that first ripple, like almost like again, almost like the walls turn to liquid for a second. But you feel it definitely doesn't, Dante. For you, it's more like Jello, as you're not released as that ripple comes through. It's almost like you're pulled and thrown a bit. And can you give me a strength save to not get pulled further in as that ripple happens? And can Paul give me a D100?
I've got a D4 as well, don't I? For bless.
Mm-hmm.
66.
Oh, okay.
I rolled that last week as well.
I'm appreciating the D4.
Some things can't happen twice, so yeah. It's
15 on the strength saves.
Okay, so you just managing to like almost holding on to your sword, and you notice that the sword itself isn't sinking in. It's almost like you've dug it in point down, and it's still doing damage, right? So it's not sinking you any further in, but you're just like everything you've got to hold on to the tip of that sword and not get pulled further in. And as you feel the like release of pressure, there's almost all of a sudden there's this rushing, pulling gas that starts to leak out, bits of red flecks and other things that almost give Volu, as it sort of like blows past you, it just gives you this weird feeling of there is a mountain that you used to visit with Tanabori called the Singing Hills, that basically the wind channels round in a certain way to whistle and whip, and people have placed musical instruments and other sorts of things that on certain times of day you can hear music being played by nature itself. There's almost an undercurrent tone of almost discordant notes that it doesn't seem as pleasant to listen to, but it gives you that same memory almost. For Volu and Dante, who are in, actually Dante, you're good this round. Volu, can you make me a strength save? And actually, your choice to crouch down gives you advantage on this, as this is just the force of it pushing you backwards. And Dante, you feel like if you weren't knee deep in the floor, that would have been like being forced backwards. It was like a buff of air.
Okay. We get a +4 on this, don't we?
Mm-hmm. And a D4. Well, yeah, you get your D4 and
yeah. Sorry, I did mean D4.
You are also in range of Ichi at the foot of the tunnel.
So you get
so you gain +3.
Right.
You get the +3 as well.
So 1d4 +3 plus whatever modifier you have.
25.
Yeah, you just like immediately just like flatten, you squat yourself out and just hold on. You like leafy cloak, like. Give me a perception, Vola, as you held on there.
5.
Okay. Too much. And again, like there's almost like bits of leaves and stuff, but they're all like red and purple and dead and inky, and they're almost like getting in your face, and you're having to like move them aside. As we come to Eleni.
Okay, so I'm still gonna go for the angel.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, I'm going to bonus action Writhing Tide.
Okay.
Effectively, my moths are going to come out and swarm around me and lift me up 10 feet. I basically now have a flying speed of 10 feet, and I can hover, and I can make this last for a minute or until I'm incapacitated. So that's my bonus action. And then now that I'm hopefully sort of level with the angel, I'm going to pull my bow and try and shoot him.
Very nice. Okay.
So I do that and I do that. Ooh, that's a 27 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Only that was rubbish. Only 4 points of damage with the first hit.
Are you doing anything on that?
I'm gonna send some of my moths out after the arrow to do my extra. Is it 1d6 damage? I'm just checking.
Okay, and I'm going to say the smaller damage is that. So go on.
I was going to say no. Can you do a strength save, please?
Yes. So you see they bring up their mace and almost begin deflecting the arrow that still slashes across the shoulder before the moths. They got a 5.
Oh, yeah. So they are going to swarm around him. Now then, it says up to 15 feet horizontally in a direction of my choice, and it knocks him prone. So I'm going to say, I know it's not horizontal, but could they knock him down?
Well, so no, it can't knock them down. You've still got to choose along the horizontal plane.
Okay.
However, a flying creature that is knocked prone is knocked from the sky. That is like you know what I mean? The mechanic of just knocking a flying creature prone, unless they have hover, which it doesn't.
Well, I don't want to knock him into Ichi or Volu or any of those
So it's
people.
up to you.
So,
You can literally go back over your head, further down away from you.
I'm going to bring him sideways, but maybe not towards Ash. So I'm going to bring him
Okay, so do you want to go back
sideways
towards the back of the room?
10 feet and then drop him.
Okay.
And then I'm going to. So sorry, what came out of the tunnel this last time? Anything? The toad's dead.
Nothing's come out.
Toad's dead. There's only really Angel out, isn't there?
Yeah, and you see they hit the floor with a heavy thud and are still sort of like getting to their feet. You see the golem shift focus and starts to like try and move that direction.
I am going to. I'm going to put a second shot just into the wall of the tunnel. If I'm seeing that Dante's been attacking it, I'm just going to put a shot into the actual tunnel wall itself.
Okay.
Just to see if that does anything. That's another 27.
Definitely hits.
And 7 damage.
Okay, the arrow soars into the corridor and sticks into the wall before slowly being just entirely consumed by the wall.
It didn't look like it damaged it at all. Okay.
Not in the same way as Dante's fire did.
It was worth finding out.
It was.
And then, so I've used 10 feet of movement going up. Can I drop the fly and, well, how far away from the angel am I now? I moved him, didn't I? Across, so.
Yeah, so he'd be maybe 20 feet from you now. You sort of rotated round if you pulled him across.
In which case, actually, I'm going to stay where I am because he's too far from me to do anything. I can still shoot him if he gets up, so that's fine.
Okay, no worries. After which it is the golem that is just going to again shift focus. Everyone give me. Oh, not everybody. Lenny, Volu, and Ichi. Sorry, Dante. Give me a perception check, please.
23.
24.
10.
Okay. Lenny and Ichi. As the golem moved and started like heading over, its body and it's sort of around its body and face, there was small, just sudden like a flick of like it like crumbled a piece, but like over its body as it just moved and like pushed down.
Do they look like they're infected bits? Or
Afterwards they do, yes.
shit. Okay.
You see the golem's first strike. As it brings it down, the angel just completely rolls left. And can somebody give me a D100? Because golem just rolled a nat 1.
Oh. Oh, still dibs.
Damn it.
Our survey says 65.
65.
Middle of the table, isn't that?
He panics and he needs to run 15 feet in a direction, and it's a D8, Liam, to
I
determine
would
the direction.
say he's probably immune to that. He's immune to fear.
So
They're
it
immune to
maybe
fright
that's
and
fine
effect.
then.
So okay, so there's almost like as it strikes down, there's a complete like the angel just steps left as the first strike goes wild, and then almost like there's a pause before the second strike just comes in and does land against the angel. Doing some more damage. Angel's looking rough, but not like the worst of worst shapes, but definitely a lot worse than they were previously. As we come to Angel's turn. They are going to firstly get up. 15 feet, stand up. Okay, they're gonna move round the golem, staying within its
Range.
attack range. And then you see it brings up the mace as if to strike, and you see again it glows in that almost like there's a moment of like it's like holy radiant energy before the colors change and twist. And as he brings it forwards, they just point it, and a beam fires, and they've shifted round to catch the golem and Lenny in the beam.
Sunlight?
Something similar. Definitely didn't cast a spell, but did something to the similar effect. So, Eleni and Golem, I need dex saves.
Okay.
Golem thing.
I'm just checking something. So I did have blessed, didn't I? So I can add
You
that
did.
to this.
Yep, yes you can.
Oh.
So that's a 20 without the D4, Liam.
Okay, so definitely half damage.
Okay.
So. Okay, so Eleni, you almost get the first glimpse of it as all of a sudden it's the golem silhouette is as if they're blocking out the sun. There's like of light as all like you can see just the silhouette of the golem. That gives you that second to like get further down into like.
Remember, I'm 10 feet up, Liam.
Well, you're gonna or maybe duck further up. Oh no, yeah, they're lining you, but maybe spin to the side or whatever it is that you manage to do. You see the beam. The golem takes 30 points.
Ouch.
And Eleni, as you're rolling to the side, it catches still it's not even that you're in the beam, it's the being this close. And as you're looking into the beam, Eleni, it's almost again this like it's like a hot white beam of radiant energy with this swirling pink red vine wrapped around it all the way up. And that is necrotic damage.
Ouch. 15.
Uh-huh.
Lovely.
As that they are gonna fly again, not going out of the golem's reach because the golem is 15 foot tall,
Yeah.
but going up to that 50. They'd only be able to go up 10 foot, but they're trying to stay away from the melee fighters.
Yeah.
And that will be their turn. As we come to Sir Arthur, I think Sir Arthur's going to jump straight up on the table because that still gives him reach to the angel. And just rushes straight across. They are going to actually try their first attack. You see that they go to sweep and they almost try and strike at the wings. It's essentially a shove, but to a flying creature. They're going to try and knock it prone again. Ichi, can you just do me a d20 for Arthur and I'll do the golem?
17.
Okay, so you see, the angel. You see that the angel goes to block Arthur raises up the sword, and the angel comes around to block it before Arthur switches the grip, slicing up against the wings, and you see that he slices through one of the connective bits, and the wing falters before the creature falls back to the ground. As you see, they fall prone again as he comes in then for the second attack at advantage.
Nice.
Unfortunately, just missing as they even with advantage only rolled a 13. You see the angel brings up the almost on the ground, last stance, holding the mace up as he brings it up to deflect the sword. As we come through to Ichi / Dante, what order do we want to take it in this?
Can Ichi go first for this one, Dante?
Please.
Ichi is going to move to... How far into the sinking is Dante?
Shin.
Lengthwise, not depth.
20 foot, essentially.
20 foot.
So he dug a little bit in a walking path, about 10 foot in, and then jumped 20 foot. And that's where he messed it up.
Ichi is going to get to that 10 feet in, and Ichi is going to look down the corridor, see the kind of angle and everything, angle themselves ever so slightly away, and I am going to send out my entangling growth in its 20-foot cone to miss Dante, but give Dante a hand, basically a climbing frame to pull themselves up with.
I like that.
And I am then going to spend the foreseeable turns just maintaining that little grid for them.
Okay, if you don't already have it, take some advantage, some inspiration, because that's a beautiful use of entangling growth. And Dante, now they're almost like a little bit of the floor and a section of the wall, almost next to Dante, is now again, and you can see Dante. It's still the flesh material underneath, but it now has thorny vines growing out of it.
Okay, amazing. Right. Dante kind of just snarls under his breath at first, and just trying to fight against this. Away with you, vile contagion.
Breathe, Dante. Take a moment. We're here.
And will reach for the vines and try to pull himself up.
Okay, so you can give me it's an athletics, not a save, because it's your action, but you are essentially trying to climb out.
That's better for me. Is it at advantage because of the...
No, the vines just give you. If it was a wall that you could already climb on, and then the vines, that's the advantage. You couldn't climb at all. It has provided you the ability to climb now.
Okay. I've lost what I was. Uh, 16.
Okay, again, you're gripping, and the first handful of vines and thorns just tear out as you like, and each you almost have to like resurge it and regrowth through it as it's pulling and ripping, and slowly you manage to pull yourself up to almost foot level. I'd say that you are basically out, but you still need to spend some movement next turn. Like you're almost at half movement.
So
still,
is that because I've got 2 attacks, so is that counted as
so that's you. This would be it's your action to attempt it.
okay? Then bonus action then.
And to be clear, you are now like sort of upper wall climbing on vines. They're stable while Ichi maintains them, but
I go with you, and I'm going to chain that my being starts to glow, and my hands and face start to flick up with fire, and I'm going to do my bonus action of transforming.
okay.
So my hair is now on fire, Super Saiyan like. Body is starting to swell up to non-mechanical, bigger, and I start to grow claws and fangs.
Okay, and I'd say not in a way that it's affecting your ability to stay on the wall, but some of the vines and the smaller bits of Ichi's entangling growth start to light up and start to inflame. Bits of the wall, you would see Ichi, bits of the wall near where Dante is now start to recede. There's almost like, do you know when you hold a candle above something and you get like that that spot? Like on the ceiling above him, almost the fleshy material starting to recede away from the heat.
And I can't.
Anything
Can
else?
I move?
I'd say that because
down.
you're half speed, you've essentially gone 10 foot up at half speed, so 20 so far. You've spent 20. You've got another 10. Oh, you've got more speed. Sorry, I forget.
So I can go and I can spend 20. I can go a further 10 feet. Then, yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna kind of do that. Does the floor or anything react to me? Like, does it start to?
Again, it is, but not mechanical. Again, not mechanically, but it is all the wall, all the corridor is reacting to this change, but it's just not mechanical at this point.
Cool. One thing I want to do, because I don't know what's going to come next, I'm going to try to wrap my hands and my feet into these vines to just to prepare for anything that's going to come at me next. It might bode well, it might go against me, but it's that kind of I'm going for like in for a penny type thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And whilst I'm transformed, I think I get half damage on anything that isn't magical. I think. I was trying to find it, but hang on. I can make attack rolls, strength or dex if I use unarmed strikes. If I use unarmed strikes, I can do an additional attack as a bonus.
Should be something about your hide, I believe.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. To be fair, it doesn't really matter at this moment. I'll look for it. I'll say if it comes in, comes a point. Yeah, and end my turn.
Okay, lovely. So you can see the angels prone, still just about fighting off the golem. Lenny and Arta are sort of that side of the room with Ash, and this side, obviously, Dante, Ichi's run right up next to you and has obviously done this entangling growth out, and you've seen Dante pull himself out and transform.
I've just realised I got a potion of fire breath on me.
Yeah, nice.
So, it's got 3 charges. Essentially, that's three bonus actions I can use it for, or is it all in one go?
Show me. Can you send it to VTT? Or what does it say exactly?
Well, after drinking this potion, you can take a bonus action to exhale fire within 30 feet of your target. Fire damage on the failsafe is half as much as a successful one. The effect ends after you exhale the fire 3 times or an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
as I'm crouched down, I'm gonna shuffle through my pocket and neck a bit of that.
Okay, so it's going to be an action to drink this one because you've had
Yeah.
to go into a pocket and it wasn't like
Yeah.
it won't have been ready to go as such.
Yeah. I'll then bonus action to, as I'm crouched down, I am going to use one of the charges, but I'm going to fire it at the floor.
Yeah.
Is there any reaction?
Okay, so you spit out the cone along the floor. What do you feel? Are your flames any different? Again, it's all like on flavor of your magic. So what does Volu Dragonfire look like?
It's instead of it being a kind of fluorescent like red and orange, it's almost a bit more earth-like, almost like it's more orange with almost flecks of brown flickering through it, almost like branches are within my breath and kind of spreading across the floor.
And as that ripples across, you see that damage is done, but it doesn't recede like it did when Dante hit it.
Wanted to double check. There we go.
Yeah, no, it was worth a check, but it definitely damaged it. And then, like, you can see that there's like physical burns now to that section of the corridor.
Okay, and then I've still got my move, haven't I?
You do still have your move.
I'll move on back.
Okay, let's just take a few. How far? Full 25 or?
How far was I in? I was only 10 foot in, weren't I?
You'd gone 10 foot into the corridor. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go 15 feet back.
Okay.
So
just outside.
Yeah.
Okay. Ash is going to move further back around the table towards the others and taking Volage on a D100. Ash just not won the firebolt. My rolls are not good tonight.
It's funny that we started talking off about the table and then we're just demonstrating
Honestly,
how
they're just rocking out tonight.
68.
It's very similar, right?
That's
Yeah, I got
panic
66
again.
before.
Okay, so this guy can panic. So rolling so a 6, I'm assuming one being straightforwards and then
Yeah, and it's 15 feet in that direction.
Into the tunnel.
No, unfortunately away from us. So Lenny, you would sort of see they like run away from you and start going round the table, try to fire off this firebolt, and the angel just like glares at them and it catches their eye for a second, and they just then like just start running back towards you in a straight line.
Cool.
Okay, so in Eleni, and Volu, can you make me perceptions, please?
No.
Oh.
I've not been very perceptive today.
That was a 9. That was rubbish.
Oh, it was a nat 1, but I get to re-roll that. And then it turned into a 2. 5.
Okay. And Eleni, sorry?
9.
Oh, okay. So let me just figure something out.
This is like one of those things on Baldur's Gate where you fail a perception and then everyone's like, what the fuck was I supposed to see? It's like, everybody
Yeah.
Okay,
failed.
so
There's something here somewhere.
The thing that both of you notice is Arta suddenly like coughs up a bunch of blood.
Oh, shit.
No sign of anything hitting him or affecting him, but he is now clutching at his gut.
Oh, shit.
He would call out like, "It feels like something just stabbed me past my armor."
Oh, God, did it spit out something invisible last turn?
Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
As we come to Eleni. Actually, sorry, we come to Eleni's from Mum, can you do me D100? As the corridor once again ripples.
Wow. Okay.
Ichi, as the corridor ripples, your vines just start to absorb a little bit.
Mhm.
That's 59.
Okay. All the D100s as well have been like fairly
Even.
fairly central, right? Like, okay, so because we've had the like again, can I have this time Volo a D10?
So is
2.
that just Volo?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. A 2 was that.
Yeah. But what's my skill check and my
So, as the corridor ripples the second time, there's almost like a almost like wet air. Do you know, like somebody running in from the rain, and there's almost like that, like drip of wetness that comes with it. And all of a sudden, there's this large snake-like creature, but it's floating just off the ground as it whips down the corridor, moving past Dante with like a rush. Oh,
does it still get past my spikes?
Yes, because it's flying.
Okay.
Doesn't touch the floor. So that jumps up. And all of a sudden, coiling out into the center of the room is a giant electric eel. Mutated and sort of shifted. You can see its fins now extending out into like almost spectral tendrils that move through. And as you're watching it, Eleni, it's almost swimming on the like ethereal.
Yeah.
It's like using the ethereal space that marries over our space to allow it to like step in the air, basically, as it moves through and twists and turns, but it doesn't act just yet as it is Eleni's turn.
Okay. So I saw Arta, and he doesn't look good. And
I
now
mean, he doesn't. It's not like he's like going down, but like he's
something's attacked him.
confused. He's confused, and that was a big hit.
Right. Okay. I would like to. I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire.
Okay.
And I want to Fairy Fire. Let me just check something. I don't think it. I'm gonna have to upcast it, but I don't think it does anything different when I upcast. No, it doesn't. Okay, so it's a 20-foot cube, and I'm going to try and put Arta in the middle-ish to see if I can catch anything that might be around him.
I'd say it'll definitely get the angel as well.
Yes,
Because is
that's
still
fine.
in the range. But so they make dex saves. So
Yeah,
let me do.
it's a Dex 15.
So the angel starts to glow,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden, almost around the grooves and joints, you know, like of his armor,
Yeah.
tiny humanoid-looking things that are just lifting the plates with little swords.
Ooh.
And
So like little fairies, like
little pixies.
Oh, wow. Okay, but we can see them now because they're glowy.
Because they are, well, yeah, you see 4 of them appear. One sort of like, there's like 2 around his gut area. There's, one near his shoulder, one on his back.
Yeah. I would shout out to him and say, You're being attacked. Look.
You
But-
will.
But then I'm gonna move in the air still 10 feet further back because obviously I'm ranged anyway.
Mhm.
That was my action and my move. Can I bonus anything? I don't think I can bonus anything. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go invisible till the start of my next turn.
Good, okay. Okay. After which it is the giant eel. Okay, so the eels sorts of like is like doing sort of circling and circling, and they get higher and higher up before all of a sudden you see like the purple red energy almost move down through their body. But you almost see as well, for all of you that are looking at it, there are points within its body where the purplish energy seems to like not work. So it's like, well, rather than seeing a smooth flow of energy down and then the crackle of lightning, there's almost like disjointed crackling and twitching from the body where the energy doesn't look like it was a smooth flow. Before all of a sudden, with a shriek, it releases the energy outwards, and all creatures within 20 feet of it, which is everybody outside of the corridor, well, not Ash and not Eleni, but the no, so yeah.
So everybody outside of the corridor.
I forget that the room is
majority
huge.
of you.
No, yeah, I forget basically all of you are out of this. Actually, it is going to get Arta and Volu and the Golem. Can you all make con saves for me, please?
So just
Oh no.
Arta and Volu and
And the Golem.
Golem.
Yeah, I forgot you'd backed up. I didn't
Yeah.
think about the phone.
Okay.
Should have stayed with in the corridor.
You're still within. You've still got your +3 from
Yeah.
Ichi.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. Okay.
Did you get your bless as well?
I did. And that gives me a grand total of 8.
Okay. Okay, so you take. You see that the Golem failed, but Sir Arta succeeded. Volu and the Golem take 17 points of lightning damage. And you would see that the Golem's energy sigils flash for a second as that lightning bolt hit it. And Volu, if you are still up, you are stunned. You are stunned until the end of your next turn. Sorry, until the end of the eel's next turn. My apologies.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure that drops any concentration if you're holding any.
Yeah,
I've got advantage.
No, unfortunately, but when you're stunned, all your spells just drop.
Can't do anything.
So vines are gone now.
Yeah, my spikes are gone.
Fortunately, aid isn't a concentration spell.
Nope.
Yeah, 8 still. Anything that's not concentration is still going, but just as literally Volu, as that lightning bolt strikes through you, it's almost like classic grenade going off. Your ears are ringing, your eyes are like out of focus, and you're struggling to like put one hand in front of you at the minute.
Yeah.
The Golem took the shock, but again doesn't seem phased by whatever. It's flashing and flickering on its sigils, but it doesn't seem to be stunned as it seems to be moving through. And you see Arta brought up his shield at the last second, taking half of the damage still, but avoiding the shell shock from taking a full blast of it. As we go to the Golem. Golem's going to keep going on. Yeah, even though the bigger threat's in the room, the Angel is down and ready for a pounding. So first hit, 1 second hit. Okay, and you see with 2 final heavy the mace ting, ting, ting to the floor, and you see again, like the others that sort of dissolved into different bits, the angel just starts to sift away in like a gold shimmering dust that floats off into the air as the golem stands up. You see that even as it stands now, its joints are moving with a creak and a twist, and it's definitely heavily damaged as it sort of turns staggeringly towards the eel. So Arthur is going to pull a dagger from his belt, and he's going to try and make 2 attacks against the weird creatures that are like on him. First attack, only a 12. So you see as he goes to stab the first pixie, it almost like jumps off him, wings folding out and allowing it to fly away. And as he stabs towards the second, again, same thing as he tries to bring the knife down on the second. Their small stature allowing them to duck in and out of the blades. He is going to move a bit closer to Ichi now that the... Actually, no, he's going to move towards Ash, and he's going to say, I need a healing potion if possible, please. And then he'll sort of go back to getting ready to fight him.
Liam, has he still got the pixies hanging off him as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they were on him flavor-wise. They stayed in the space that they, you know what I mean?
Okay, I thought they were literally hanging off his armor.
No, they hadn't grappled him, but they were
Right,
like,
okay.
sneak attacking him, essentially.
Yeah.
As we would then see, he's going to move over towards Ash and take up a stance as we then come to Ichidante.
Ichidante.
That sounds like an anime character.
Yeah.
Either that or, a couple.
That's just a ship name, isn't it?
Danchichi.
Danchichi.
Now that sounds like an anime character. Like,
No, their ship name should be Oshante.
Oh jeez! How long
that took that penny to drop for Beecham?
Literally that moment.
Just
came
go through
to
it. That is going to be the line for this campaign.
Oshante.
We've peaked now. There is nothing good that's going to come from this.
Okay, which of
we
you,
might as well just give up now.
Which of you is going first?
I'm just trying to see if there's anything I can give to aid. I don't think so. None of those will help. No, this is all physical stuff. No, yeah, Ichi will just maintain the entangling growth. And off to Dante.
Dante is going to switch his Crimson Right. So it's still going to be fire, but it's no longer on the sword. It's moving onto his hands, so I need to take a d6 damage for that. At 2 points, I'm okay with that. And now I'm going to just lean and attack the floor that's kind of like adjacent to me, like a little bit forward diagonal. How much further ahead is this orb box glowing thing?
So you are still about 40 away from
it's 40 feet away from me.
Ish.
Cool. Okay, well I'm gonna claw the floor.
Yeah. Give you somewhere to stand.
Yep. Do you want me to roll, or am I just...
No, you can very easily just like, almost for you now, your hand is lit up. It's like wiping away dirt. You just like
Cool. Then I'm gonna do second one, like just to wipe away the next part of the dirt.
okay.
So I've got 10 feet. So like right there. And done a bonus. I can't do any more. There's no point with this movement. So that is me.
Okay.
I am shocked.
Golden. Oh, you're stunned. Sorry.
To be fair, could it EG have his turn now in the because he was holding that move and then we ran at the same time. Otherwise, he just wasted a turn because I've just climbed off it.
Sure. Immediate threats are obviously the
giant eel.
Giant eel.
Yep, that's 20 foot up. Pretty much not quite directly above you, but almost directly above the exit.
Great.
And
does it look like it's attached to something? Like it's holding itself up, or is it like floating?
It's fins that would normally be like the small little diddy things that normally guide them through the water.
But it's
like the you know, they have like the ones what would they call it? The tail fin almost.
Yeah.
They're like longer and more extensive, and they're almost gripping onto a different liquid that you're not seeing. You would actually still have the knowledge to understand that they're almost using the ethereal plane.
Yeah.
So they're almost able to, like, the end of their fins touch the material plane, allowing them to swim through the air.
Okay. Okay, if Dante's hopped off, Ichi will turn. It's about 20 feet in the air, you say?
Mm-hmm.
I will take just 5 steps forwards to get it approximately around 15 feet, and I will send my entangling growth up towards it to restrain it. So it needs to do a... what kind of save? A strength save against a DC of... What was that? Is it 11 plus my con? DC 15.
17 on the
yeah, cool. It's not restrained.
You see that almost it's less than it strengths its way out, and it does just almost twist in and out. And you would notice where the bits of lightning that are normally just electric that fire off it, they're necrotic energy infused. And as they hit your entangling growth, there's almost like the normally strong vines become weak as it's in its grip, as it's gripping it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's my action. I will then pass on. Well, I would not pass on. I pass turn.
Ichi dies.
Ichi dies.
We'll move on from that. Okay. You would see that Ash is going to use his action to pull out 4 greater potions of healing and put them on the table. And he's going to just sort of shout out like, healing at the table if needed. He is going to offer one up for obviously his knight sire to take. But he is going to use the action rather than getting out one right now. He's going to use the action just to get out a bunch and just put them on the table.
That's good.
Okay, so
at this point, Dante is very much alone. You could argue who's in the worst position here, because you guys are the ones who are doing the fighting. But a slip up here for me could be I lose a body part.
Don't slip up.
The glowing figures for Ichi, for a second, it was hard to notice them even. You come back into this room, sort of seeing the effects of fairy fire already in flow. And fairy fire does have flickering little lights that sort of twinkle around it. But all of a sudden, Ichi, 4 of those twinkling little lights start moving at about 60-foot fly speed. and beeline different people in the room.
Right.
One is zooming up to you, Ichi, and as it does, you see definitively a very, very tiny pixie with some sort of rapier-looking weapon. Again, as the same with the angel, they're almost bad clay models of them. Do you know, like all badly formed clay sculptures out of the weird material, goopy material. And as they come in flying quickly, they are going to strike towards you, Ichi, for a 19 to hit.
Hits.
For 5 points of piercing and 3 points of poison.
5 points of piercing and 3 points of poison. Wonderful.
Two of
do
them,
a concentration check. Yeah, we're good.
2 of them zoom, continuing after Arta. The 2 that were like on his front, they continue and almost like digging straight into his back. Unfortunately, not getting the advantage now that he can see them. He manages to like deflect and put his, that he's not letting them pull up his padded armor this time because he can see them coming. And for Eleni, you see one of them
invisible.
You are, and you still see one of them zoom in your direction.
Okay.
And as they zoom up, they are going to come and attempt to strike you. So only a 10 to hit with the first strike, because you all like at the last second realize, oh shit, it can see me, and like duck as it like over your head.
Yeah.
And then a 21 hits you, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, Eleni, the first one like zooms over your head, and as you like, oh shit, duck back, your knee slices.
Okay.
As you take 5 points of piercing and 2 points of poison.
Okay.
And you would feel like something take off you again. There is definitely a fifth. However, top of the round, the corridor once again begins to and Dante, as it begins to pulse this time, the energy at the end of the corridor is getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and has been this whole time. But also, as it's been getting dimmer of the blue, there is a red purple energy beginning to glow up behind that blue. And you don't have long, but that completely corrupting is probably a problem. However, there is almost an electrical surge down the tunnel. And Ichi, you stepped just outside the tunnel, so you feel it almost like the vibration tingle on your armor as that staticky.
Mm-hmm.
Dante, you're not in predominantly metal armor, are you? Because you were going to have a disadvantage, Ichi, for resisting this if you were still stood in the tunnel.
Nope.
No, so just a normal dexterity save from you, please, Dante, as the whole tunnel begins to like strike with this necrotic pink energy, as almost like it's beginning to collapse under its own growth.
18.
Okay, so you managed to take half damage. So you take 8 points of necrotic.
Okay.
And as that strikes against you, Dante, you look behind you, and Ichi, you also turn, and the corridor is like shrinking down. As you see, almost it's trying to close you off, and you can see Dante just there, the hole maybe still 2 or 3 feet across. And that is where we are going to end part 1.
Sorry,
episode.
Are you saying it's
Oh my
closing in
God.
front of me or between me and everyone else?
Between you and everyone else.
Shit.
Hit.
Fun.
So now it's a contracting flesh tunnel.
Oh, you had to
Really?
make this. You had to
It's
make
a
the sphincter go.
there's a sphincter forming. It's almost like it's growing a body, maybe.
Oh, yuck.
Oh, I don't like it.
I'm not okay with
Oh
this.
my
Put that thing back where it came from, also help me.
Thank you very much for watching. As always, thank you very much for playing. If you're enjoying the adventure so far, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you know when the videos are coming out next. And as always, roll well. Bye. This is the end of part 1. Part 2 airs Sunday 7 PM GMT, or will be linked in the top right of your screen now. Thank you for watching, and roll well.